Hey to the girls, hi to the guys. Welcome to another episode of the Sit Down with SolÉ, the place where we just talk about it. I'm singer, songwriter, business owner, your long lost sister, Chantel SolÉ, and this is the place where it's judgment free, we talk about it all, and we get down to the real tea. As you can see from the title of today's video, this is a very controversial topic because we're talking about how moving to Atlanta was life-changing, how Atlanta changed my life, how moving away from home changed my life. Controversial because a lot of people say, oh, Atlanta, man, people like Atlanta and Cali, those are the two like hubs, or New York. People will be like, I'm moving there to try to make it, or I'm moving there to chase my dreams, especially in the industry I'm in, especially when it comes to music and acting and entertainment in general. LA or Cali, Atlanta, New York, like, those are like the hubs for moving to Atlanta. So it's kind of cliche to say I moved to Atlanta and it changed my life, but let's get into the details of how moving to Atlanta really changed me for the better. So before we can move forward, let's get into the history. Let's give you a little backstory of how we even got here. So originally I'm from Virginia. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, Hampton Roads area, 757. If you've never been there, it's a water, Virginia Beach, a lot of Navy bases, things of that nature. But one thing is not a big music hub, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I grew up. I lived in North Carolina for a while, where I went to school in North Carolina A&T, so I know what it's like living in North Carolina, which is that I love North Carolina as well. And I also have lived in Japan, so I've lived in a lot of different places, so keep that in mind. What do I do? So I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, but I also have a business where I create jingles and I do sonic branding for different businesses and brands. I write songs for people, I sing songs for people. So that's how I make my living. I literally am a singer-songwriter full time. That's what I do. You can kind of get an idea of why this was so life-changing for me, because it's not for everybody. Start by saying that Atlanta is not for everybody. Okay? Atlanta is not for everybody. Let's say it one more time. Atlanta is not for everyone. Okay. So why Atlanta? It's overcrowded. It's overpopulated. We don't need more people. People who are from here, Atlanteans, are like, why y'all coming here for? We already got enough people. Y'all need to leave. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But if I didn't do music, if I wasn't in the industry that I'm in, I would not have moved to Atlanta. Georgia, yes, but Atlanta, no. Atlanta is a major hub. But I moved here because I heard it was the black Wall Street, like the black Mecca, like a black New York. And also I did music, so I know it's a lot of labels down here, a lot of people do music down here. So that really was my motivation for moving down here. I'm like, I was really blind walking into it. I did research on like the area, things like that, but like I don't have family down here that live in Georgia or Atlanta, so I really didn't know what I was walking into. I literally just moved to Atlanta. Me and my fiance, we just got up and we just moved. Let's get into the reasons why I moved to Atlanta. The first reason why I moved to Atlanta was that I felt like I had to get out of my hometown, my home state, not even just my hometown. I felt like I had to get out of Virginia. Again, for what I was doing, I had been doing music for 5 years. It's literally like a dead end there. Like if you want to get signed, you want to do not, like people there will tell you, just keep grinding, just keep doing shows. They want you to stay in the chicken circuit, and you're gonna look up and you're gonna be 45 in the chicken circuit, even rapping and singing at all these same clubs, these same bars every night. Like the music industry is not that big, and where I'm from, 757 Hampton Roads, is not that big. It's like either you from Hampton Roads and you from Norfolk and you do music there, or you in Richmond, you're from Northern Virginia. But Virginia in general is not like a cohesive state where we all come together and we do music in it. It's very much sectioned off. So I saw a glass ceiling. I didn't see how much further I could go in Virginia, and the people I reached out to help, and they all were in Virginia too, and they just like, just keep grinding, just keep doing. I'm like, bro, it has to be a better solution in another way. I have to get out of my home state. So that was a big thing for me. I needed a fresh start, yo. I felt like I needed a fresh start, like completely fresh. Like I've been there all my life. I needed to get detached from familiar influences. That was deep. I had to get away from familiar influences. So a lot of times when you're in your hometown, like a lot of people, it's almost like a hive mind. Like everyone kind of thinks the same. Not saying everyone, but like when it comes to certain things, people have a certain stance on it depending on where you're from. And that's just kind of how it was for me. Like I felt like everyone I talked to, they all had the same idea, and I felt like what I was trying to do was just so different that I feel like I just needed to get away from people who had the same thought patterns, the same mentality. Like, no one there that I knew was really taking their music like a business. Everyone was just doing music on the fly, like, you know what I'm saying? So I really had to get away from that. Like I said before, I lived in Japan for a little while, so like for a few years. So moving back home after coming to Japan, if you've been to Japan, if you lived in Japan, then you know how hard life hits you when you move back to the States. The United States is a hood. The entire, I don't care how rich you are, the entire United States is the hood compared to a lot of these other countries. So that's how I felt. Like, I moved back and I'm like, whoa, Virginia, like, this area has nothing to offer me. Like, I've just went to the other side of the world. Like, it was just hard. Like, I've seen so much. It was just hard for me to push that back in a box and just live in my hometown. Like, I didn't just experience all that I just experienced. So that was kind of messed with my head too. Like, I need something different. So very much I had to get out of my hometown. I had to get away from out of my home state. That was pretty much the reasons, like, that pushed me to really leave my home state. Now let's fast forward into moving to Atlanta. Moving to Atlanta opened my mind and opened my eyes to so many new opportunities, different avenues I didn't realize I could go before moving. And I'm not saying like Atlanta has a solution, but moving out of your hometown in general, like, you're able to see different things that you probably never even thought of, things that like maybe you was like, I could do that, but because you didn't see anybody doing it, or because nobody pushed you to do it, you thought it was stupid, or it was a crazy idea. But then you move somewhere and you see people actually doing that. Like, moving to Atlanta, I see people actually investing in their craft. Like, people are getting to the bag, and that is not just people. My people, black people, melanated people, men and women are getting to the coin. From where I'm from, in Norfolk, I mean, everything gentrified. Everything is gentrified, bro. Like, you rarely get to walk into somewhere that's like a black establishment. And if it is, it's few and far between, you know what I'm saying? We're down here in Atlanta, it's like almost everything is black owned. Beautiful. So moving down here, like I said, I was able to see different things. It gave me a brand new perspective on my music, on my artistry. Wherein originally, I knew I wanted to make money from music, but I had no idea how that was going to work. I thought maybe I have to get more people to listen, and maybe, which that is the avenue, you can get people to do your streams, but you know how many streams you got to get just to make a coin? Like 1 million streams to really make some money. Like, that's a lot of streams when you don't have people that's even coming to support you, that even act like you. We're not getting into that. So it was just like, how am I going to be able to make money from this? I could, like, my brain, like in Virginia, from my hometown, I didn't see anybody that was actually making money as a rapper or a singer. We all doing the same shows. I've been to the biggest venues. Like, what more was there for me to do there? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no way I can make money out of this. Moving down here, that's when I started my business. I was working a job, and I was just like, look, I was doing research, and I was like, look, I'm starting my own business. I started my own jingle business, my own voice company. So I do voiceovers, I do voice acting. Like I told you, I do infomercials, I do everything. But I didn't even think that was a possibility. I didn't even think that was like a thing. Also, moving down here forced me to work on my own brand. Like I was telling you, how you really see people who are investing into themselves, like people who are taking themselves seriously. It made me take myself seriously, because I'm like, oh wait, these people taking themselves seriously, they're investing into their brand, they're taking, you know what I'm saying? So it really just made me step up my game, because I'm like, oh, so this is how the game works. This is how it is to really be an entrepreneur, or really be a business owner. So just what I saw was just like night and day to what I was used to in my hometown. Now, some people may be seeing this like, girl, where are you from? Like, girl, we see this all the time. Where I'm from, it ain't nothing like that. And again, the industry that I'm in, I'm not in medical. I'm not in anything. I'm in entertainment industry. I'm in the entertainment industry. And that industry is not lucrative or a big thing in a lot of different areas. So you have to find specific areas that works for you. Being around all these different business owners and things like that, it made me feel like I was less of a dreamer. You know, when I was home, I felt like what I wanted was so far-fetched. Like, and what I wanted was so different from what other people wanted. Like, other people wanted to work to put money into their music. They wanted to work to put on this facade for their music. Like, I could like $1 million in my video, but if I'm not making $1 $1 million or on my way to it for my music, to me, that's not success. So I had to realize that I have different goals from other people. They may want clout. They may just want to do this as a hobby. They may just want notoriety. They may just want to be the biggest artist in the city. I don't know what their goals are. But what I wanted to do was to make money. I didn't care about being famous. I don't care. To the point now, I don't care if you don't stream my stuff or nothing. I just wanted to make money. That coin. So, but I felt like what I wanted was like not attainable, because everyone I talked to about it just like, oh yeah, it's gonna come. So it made me feel like I was dreaming. Even when I'm like trying to tell my family, like, they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to? I'm like, I just want to do music. I didn't even know what that entailed. I just knew that I wanted to make money from doing music, period. So moving down here, I was able to see like, oh, it's a market for me. Like, I can do this. So you might be listening and you like, okay, girl, I hear what you're saying, but how was that life changing? Like, how did that change anything? It was life changing for me personally. I don't know how it is for anybody else that moved down here to Atlanta or what they was looking for. It was life changing for me because, like I said, I was able to physically see other people that are doing it. They're doing it. And it made me see I can do it too. That's what it did for me. It changed my life because it made me, there is no glass ceiling. There is no idea that's too far-fetched. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? Wherein if I had stayed in Virginia, I probably would have been in the same cycle of just doing shows, two, 3 shows, and then doing this and doing that, and try to convince people who don't even like themselves to like me. It's too much. So it changed my life, where I don't care about being an artist with the persona and doing all this, and I care about the coin, and I have an actual path to get to the coin. It changed my life. So now I can build financial wealth for my family. I can work for myself, and I'm able to provide for myself. I'm able to provide for my family by singing. And that to me is life changing, because before I couldn't do that. It was just an extremely expensive hobby. So that's how moving to Atlanta really, really changed my life. Tips for moving to a new city, tips for people who are trying to move out their home state, tips for people who are trying to move to Atlanta. I would say, look, if you want to move out of your home state or your hometown, whatever you want to do, you just want to move somewhere else to get a fresh start, do it. And don't go to other people to confirm if this is what you should do. Don't go to your mama or your cousin or your best friend. Don't do any of that. Sit with it. If this is a decision you want to make, if you feel the need to understand, like, I need to change, listen to that. Like, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but if you have a job, that's what I did. I had a job. I just transferred my job. Most jobs are transferable. That's what I don't understand. People be like, I can't move. You can transfer your job. But see me, I'm a risk taker. If you want to do it, then do it. Don't look for validation. Don't look for confirmation, because like I said, it's that hive mind. Most people who are in their hometown, who are living there, don't have the desire to leave home. So if you go looking for somebody else to confirm what you want to do in order to do it, you ain't never going to do it. So that's my number one tip. If you want to do it, make a plan and know in yourself that that's what you want to do. Do the research in your area. Don't just be like, oh, I'm moving. Oh, yeah, let's go. And you just out there looking stupid. Don't do that. Do a little bit of research. Look at some border areas. Look at some, because you don't have to be living directly in the heart of wherever you're trying to go to get there. As long as it's 30, 40 minutes away, you're locked. That's how it is for me. I mean, maybe you want to be right there. That's cool too. But like for me, as long as I'm 30 minutes, 45 minutes in vicinity, I'm good to go. If the job is going to be different, because that's what happened to me. My job transferred, but the job down here was kind of like different from the job I had up there. So that kind of like got a little wonky. So definitely try to iron things out. If you are transferring from one job to another job, definitely do that. If you're trying to move as an entrepreneur, listen to this. I know I said before, don't go looking for validation, but if you're an entrepreneur and you have a friend or you have someone that is close to you, because don't just do this with a random person, someone that you know that is business minded too, y'all got the same goals, y'all got the same thing, y'all can link up and y'all can move. It's so much easier when you move as a group. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot less scary too, and it kind of make it more adventurous. But if you're an entrepreneur, that means you can make money wherever you go. But that's another tip. If you can move, travel with someone, move away with someone, I would definitely say do that. As far as Atlanta, I really don't have any tips down here because, like I said, I don't really be outside for real. I don't like the hustle and bustle of downtown, so I'm not really like an outside person when it comes to all that. Like, granted, I still do. It's a lot of day stuff you can do, but when it comes to like nightlife, the city in general, I don't like. I don't like looking for parking. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like. Now I will pop out like with my friends and them like that, but like if it's up to me, I'm not going downtown Atlanta to go out to do anything unless I'm celebrating something. So that's me. I don't really have any tips for moving to Atlanta, but definitely, like I said, if you got a group of people that y'all want to move, bro, do it. Don't, you know what I'm saying, give yourself a time limit, stick to your time limit, stick to your plan, and move, bro, because you're going to look up and realize that you just wasted 5 years. You just wasted 10 years. You just wasted 15 years, and them years be adding up. Think about how long you've been out of high school. You thought when you graduated high school, oh, my life just is 18. Think about how long ago a high school graduation was. Yeah, wake up call. So like I'm saying, if you want to move out your hometown, out your home state, go ahead and do it. Because Atlanta, moving out my hometown, moving to Atlanta, changed my life. I will never be the same. My whole paradigm on life has changed. You feel me? And it's only up from here. That's all for today with the sit down with SolÉ. I know my Atlanteans probably gonna be on my head when they see this video, but it's all good. If you have any questions or anything like that, follow me on Instagram, Chantel_SolÉ. Drop it in the comments if you enjoyed this video or if you got a question, do that. And thank y'all so much. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this whole video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.